Okay, and but they won't get to see who's actually here. That's okay. Oh, I want to take a picture too, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, something. Oh, yeah, everyone has.
A little nicer.
Hi.
Like, just so you know.
Okay. We're almost ready to start. Just for.
Very brief introduction, and I'm actually just talking more about the phrase of Christie, not the whole.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'm just asking because people are coming. Oh, here's a seat, and we might want to get more chairs because.
Yes.
It's
Where
4
can I?
minutes and like we're already at capacity.
Right, right. Where can I grab some? Oh, okay. There's a great turnout, Nicole. And hello, everyone online. I can't see all of you except I see a Mad Hatter hat and I like that. Gina. This is our crowd. I want to pin myself for a second. Oh wait, I can't. This is so great. Well, except we're gonna be like, we'd have too many people for the chairs that are in this room. Okay, okay.
So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's.
Yes. Maybe we can until you present. So what do you think? Or not me. Hello. Okay, I'll just do this. Wait, I'm afraid to touch this. Hi, everyone, just another minute. And if I'm yelling too loud, it's because there's a lot of people here. This is really intense.
Oh my God.
How about that? So here you can see everybody kind of.
Yeah, that's. Oh, wait, that's your phone. I'll put you on the line.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then when you present, did you see if you can do your PowerPoint? Just, there's people trickling in. Okay. Hi, everyone. It is. Hi, everyone. And I apologize if I'm too loud on the computer. It is so fabulous to see you. The turnout is a testament to Jessica's importance in our department and all the lives she has touched with her teaching and her scholarship. And tonight we're here to celebrate the great accomplishment of publishing a book. It's not her first book, but I wanted to say a couple of things. So I'm the Director of Graduate Studies in Global Gender and Sexuality Studies. I teach in the department, and this is probably my favorite event of the year to honor, our graduate student. I just wanted to say a couple of things about the book first, and then introduce Jess. So, Madwomen in Social Justice Movements, Literature and Art, which is out with Vernon Press, is a dynamic collection of essays, scholars, creative writers, and mad activists come together to redefine the mad woman in pluralistic and expansive ways, and to realize new potential in mad agency. This collection blazes new directions of thinking through madness as a gendered category, comprised of a combination of creative works that reimagine the figure of the mad woman, speeches in which mad identifying artists and writers reclaim the label of mad woman, and scholarly essays that articulate ambitious theories of the mad woman. So that's only one paragraph of the extremely complex work. And I thought it would be nice for you to hear some of the praise that the book has received. It's quite amazing. I am actually only giving you a couple of sentences. I've edited them down. Here's something from Dr. Amy Pozorski, featuring a new framework. And that's the kind of thing you want to have in your praise. It's really hard to achieve that, to be told you're doing something new, and no less to do a new framework. So featuring a new framework that includes work by activists, artists, and academics, this expertly edited collection draws on autoethnographic approaches, disability studies, and mad feminist discourse to center mad subjectivities and disrupt traditional structures of academia. In this way, Mad Woman reclaims the derogatory term madness and reveals ways in which women think outside of rigid patriarchal frameworks and offer reparative alternatives. Wow. In so doing, this collection reveals that literature and art indeed have a social role to play, that they are, by virtue of their own madness, social justice agents informed by cultural circumstances and embodied experiences alike. And when I read that, I really thought, wow, this person knows what you're all about. And I think all of your students know that too. And so it's really remarkable that it comes out in the scholarship, but also in the criticism, positive criticism of the scholarship. Another person, Dr. Julie R. Enzer, wrote in this book, editors Nicole Crevar, sorry, is it really Crevar? Okay. And Jessica Lowe Mason assemble a range of incisive and deeply feminist essays that reconsider and resituate the mad woman trope indelibly traced by Gilbert and Goubart. These contemporary considerations of the mad woman literary trope illuminate the continued urgency and necessity of grappling with the mad, the crazy, and the uncontainable in literary texts. Most exciting about this collection are the creative, mad disruptions sprinkled between the chapters. The writing in these chapters, innovative, challenging, energizing, reminds readers why literary arts endure and what is at stake in challenging ideas surrounding women and madness, particularly today. Wow, congratulations, Jessica and Nicole. So just a short bio, obviously many of you are extremely familiar with Jess. So I'll just give you a very short kind of overview. Jessica is a PhD candidate and teaching assistant in the Global Gender and Sexuality Studies Department at the University of Buffalo. She is the author of Woman in Disguise, Saltfire Press 2013, and Straight Jacket, Finishing Line Press 2019, as well as the co-editor of the book that we're celebrating today. Her article, Making Bedlam Toward a Trauma-Informed Mad Feminist Literary Theory and Praxis, is forthcoming in Humanities in 2023. She is the co-founder of Madwomen in the Attic, the feminist mental health literacy organization in Buffalo, New York, and is the co-facilitator of an ongoing weekly writing workshop in the partnership between Mita?
Madwomen in the Attic, yeah.
Oh, that's how, okay, sorry. But how do you say the acronym?
We say it Mida.
Mita, okay, Mita, that's my German pronunciation, Mita, Mita. And the Herstory writing workshop titled Memoirs to Reimagine Mental Health Care. Okay, but in addition, Jessica is an extraordinary educator whose courses are legendary among her former students and current students. In 2020, Jessica was the recipient of the Excellence in Teaching Award at the University of Buffalo. This is an extremely hard thing to achieve. And she earned the award for Outstanding Intersectional Feminist Pedagogy of a Syllabus in our department last year as well. So we're very thrilled for Jessica's newest achievement of publishing this book. And please join me in congratulating Jessica.
I just want to come in for the people who are standing in the hall. We have seats if you're willing to come up closer. Enjoy. We can make it. Okay. Maddox, come up. Come sit by Dora. Okay. And there is one seat here as well. All right, I'm gonna connect here with my VP people online. So as I get started, I'm going to set up the PowerPoint here so you can see the slides. I want to begin just by thanking Dr. Tumbas and my Department of Global Gender and Sexuality Studies for celebrating this work, bringing attention to this work, and inviting our students and friends in the community to come together. I'm going to be doing a lot of thanking today, actually. This is a celebration of the publication of a book. I'm not going to be telling you everything that's in this book. We have Nicole, my co-editor here, and I'm going to talk about her in a bit. But a lot of what I'm going to talk about today is thanks. It's gratitude and it's celebration. I see gratitude and celebration as being very much connected. This room is a beautiful room. It's taking my attention a little bit away from the Zoom room, which is also a beautiful room of people that I love and care about. But to see you all, years ago, when my sister and I started Madwomen in the Attic here in Western New York, we had our first meeting, and we put flyers all over the city. It was after I was institutionalized, and I'm sorry, I need you to see me as well. And when we had that first meeting, I didn't know if we would get one person. We had a small group of about 8 people, and I remember having this mixed feeling. On the one hand, I was like, oh, that's such a small group. You know, I kind of had that eating away at me. I'm like, there's a whole city of people here that we invited, but we were doing something new. And recently, when I have been attending the 50th anniversary of our department events and hearing about the small groups that people in the feminist movement have used to start things, and just the fact that people today that I deeply respect for their work started in small groups. You're a bigger group, and you're connected with a lot of other people, and the people that you're over here as well. I am so grateful that I could be part of bringing more care and attention to Mad women and Mad people population of people that are shunned from our society in so many different ways. So I want to begin with that. I also want to thank my sister, who is back with her 3 daughters who are little and sitting on my kids' laps. My brother who's against the wall. My sister is the co-founder of Madwomen, the Attic, with me. And having her by my side has been a really big, important part of me being able to do the work that I do as the sort of mad person in the organization, or in the co-founding of the organization. I'm gonna slow down my thanks because I actually have slides to go along with these. So before I do that, though, I want my daughters to give a little wave of their hands. Dara, you could say Dara and Alana are back there. My kids don't live with me here in Buffalo, New York for most of the year. So having them be here for this it means the world to me. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Okay, got to get it together now and get excited. Okay. I want to start with a PowerPoint, and Nicole, I will introduce you and you can speak in just a bit. I was going to do a group land acknowledgements, but given our technical issues with audio, I might just do the land acknowledgement as part of my talk. Okay. All right, let's get this playing. Okay, so this is a celebration. This image that you're looking at here is a zoomed in image from the cover of this book, which you're seeing in front of you here. We are so excited about just the look of this book, just the physical materiality of the object. There aren't many books about mad women out on the market. One of them is the seminal work by Gilbert and Gubar that has been seminal for over 50 years. And so to see our book about mad women taking shape in this kind of material form and being out there is very, very exciting. I want to acknowledge, and I have some images here for those who are connecting online. I want to acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional unceded land of the Seneca Nation of the Haudenosaunee, Six Nations Confederacy. I typically, when we have a new meeting or we're having new people join us, I'm doing a lot of Zoom work. So I've been working with people all across the country, and we do land acknowledgements with each other. And that's part of our regular conversation. But it's something that I ask that we really think about, especially with regard to thinking about this book and Mad Women and the treatment of marginalized people by mental health care facilities in the United States and here locally in Buffalo, New York, where our systems, we don't always see them. We're here in this room together. Hey, we're here in this room together and we're able to be together and to move freely. But right now there are facilities in Buffalo where people are, it's okay, where people are receiving care, and I'm putting care in quotes, and treatments that have a long history in the oppression of peoples and marginalized people. So this acknowledgement is an acknowledgement of the many intricate ways that communities, Indigenous, Black people of color have been marginalized in our city and in our nation. Now I get to talk about Nicole. And yes, this is going to make me, I'm going to get excited. I'm not going to cry too much. The images, I don't know exactly what's cut off and what's not. I love to tell the story of how this book came about. And I can't tell the story of how this book came about without talking about Nicole Cravar. Nicole and I met, and she will correct me, hopefully, on any details that I get wrong, because she is my person for all the details. We met at the Northeast Modern Language Association at an academic conference. And we were not meeting because we were part of any particular group that was together. We were grad students who were trying to get free food at a cocktail hour or something. And we were both standing there, and Nicole is one of the most outgoing, friendly people. And I'm nice and I'm friendly, but I don't typically just launch into new people that I haven't met. I kind of wait for them to come to me sometimes. And Nicole came up to me and just started a conversation. And I just felt like, oh my gosh, oh, I've met someone like this at an academic conference. This is exactly how I want to feel. Like I could just be a human being with this person. And that meant a lot to me. We ended up having meals together during the conference, and she attended my session and I attended hers. And so she heard me speak about madness and about Madwomen. Next thing you know, we're having a meal and I was saying, I'd really like to have a Madwomen session next year at NEMLA. And she's like, that sounds really interesting. Some of the work that I do might be able to connect with that, with neoliberalism. And so that is how this book started. We decided we wanted to have a Madwomen roundtable. And I think I give a little bit of a shout out here and a couple of things to NEMLA. And I don't know if NEMLA has its own thing, but oh, NEMLA's in the corner and it's covered up. Okay. I want to credit NEMLA, actually, not just because I'm their hospitality fellow this year. I want to credit NEMLA because I have made some of the most important connections outside of the department in my career in life, just from being at that conference and meeting people through that conference. When we put our call for papers out just for the roundtables themselves, we had so many abstracts. We're like, oh, wow, people want to talk about the Madwomen as a figure. We weren't sure. We were told this was outdated. We were kind of discouraged from pursuing it. But the people that wanted to be part of it spoke. And we ended up having 2 roundtables at the conference. And actually the pictures that follow here is a few of us from one of the roundtables, one of the Madwomen roundtables at NEMLA. And just what happened in that room at that roundtable, Aaron Soros, who is pictured on the end here, came in and spoke like I've never seen someone speak at an academic conference, actually came up and spoke madness and spoke about institutionalization and disrupted academic discourse at our roundtable in a way that was striking to me. And we said, wow, we need to do something. We need to do a collection. But we had just we didn't know how to do a collection. We're grad students. We're delegitimized. To even talk about doing a collection is sort of like, it'd be embarrassing if a grad student tries to do a collection. You need to wait your turn, that kind of thing. However, Nicole was, I guess, contacted by a press that was present at NEMLA at the conference and attended I believe attended our roundtable. And this was Vernon Press. And they said, we're interested in if you want to make this into some kind of collection. And we talked about it. We were like, can we do this as grad students? Like, is this wrong? Is this like, are we going to embarrass ourselves? We're not sure. And we're like, you know what? We care about this. A press wants to publish this collection and they're willing to make us the co-editors. Why would we limit ourselves just because we're graduate students and we're not yet doctors? And so we just decided we could do it. We're going to figure out, we're not going to wait for someone to teach us how to do it. We're going to trust in our own knowledges and our own expertise and our own care for this subject and our own personal experiences. And we're going to do it. And from that point on, the abstracts were rolling in. There were more stories than we could contain in this book by far. And so we know there's more on the Madwomen to come. But that's a little bit about our journey. I want to let Nicole talk for a second here, and I don't know if I can make you. I think I have to stop share for a second in order to make you come on our screen bigger. Hold on a second. Okay. Yes, talk to us, Nicole.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
I'm sorry about the hearing because that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Am I heard?
yeah. Thank you for doing that. Okay.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I know I'm on the big screen, so maybe I'll just be really, move my arms a lot. I'm Nicole Crevar, she, her pronouns. I'm a 5th-year doctoral candidate of English literature at the University of Arizona. And I have a focus in social, cultural, and critical theory. So as Jess mentioned, I work with neoliberalism and critiquing it. I'm currently the Mellon Graduate Fellow for the Sawyer Seminar on Neoliberalism at the Neo-Populist Crossroads. And I'm a graduate director of a college pathway community partnership program called Wildcat Raiders. Are you guys still there? We lost the view. Okay.
Closed captioning up here, Nicole, for the people that are in the room. I think it's sorry.
Oh.
Good. Okay, keep going. Sorry, Nicole.
Keep going?
Yeah.
I'm zooming from Tohono O'odham and Pascua Yaqui lands. I'll add my land acknowledgement. And I have a background as an academic editor, so that really helped with the collection. Working on the collection with Jess and all of our amazing contributors has been beyond rewarding. Not only is the collection of critical importance, but we also pushed a lot of academic boundaries, such as through the Mad Disruption creative essays. We have quite different skill sets. So, you know, Jess is the creative genius who would be up burning the midnight oil and just seamlessly writing all of this content, especially for the introduction. Whereas I, as the academic editor, was the one who would organize, be on top of emails with contributors and deadlines and kind of, you know, keep everything moving that way. But our skill sets really complemented each other. Most importantly, every time we got on Zoom to talk about the Madwomen, what we hoped for our project, what it would do in the world, it was like my cup got refilled, right? So a lot of our personal and professional obligations can be very draining, but every time we came to work on this collection, it was fulfilling. Like I always walked away like so happy and excited. So collaborating with Jess has just been absolutely amazing, and it is not the end of our work together, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Nicole. Are there people out in the hall that would like to come? There are 2 seats here. I don't want to keep people out there if we can. Okay, all right, just checking. Okay, I'm going to go back to our slide. Okay. So I know I did my thanks before, but I actually had a slide of thanks. And this is the picture that was just taken recently. And John is here. Where are you, John? Are you still here? Not here? Okay, our photographer left, but oh, okay. I just want to give you credit. But John took this photo outside of park when my students and I were walking over to some of the protests at the local protest of the Michael Knowles event. And that's another thing I kind of wanted to mention today. I'm happy to see all of you here. Many of the people that I saw at the protest are here as well. And I know whether I saw you or not, many of you had work in that. And I really appreciate that. This is another thing I'd like to say about the Madwomen collection is that we were not conceiving the Madwomen in a gendered way. That was an important little transgression that we were trying to do big transgression that we were trying to do with this work. We hoped that someone would write about trans identity and madness in this collection. We did have one author who originally submitted an amazing article, but then had some life issues and was unable to kind of finish it. But the Madwoman, we want to see the category of the Madwoman sort of expanded and have trans identity and other identities be explored more explicitly. And some of the work today we're going to talk about that is going to show you how this collection does push some of those edges in a provocative way. I have the picture here of Dr. Tumbas, as well as Dr. Varnado, who is not here with us because she is in California doing amazing work at the Huntington Library. But I'm also grateful to Dr. Varnado as well, and to our whole department. I have had so many opportunities by being part of this department. And when we're all doing the eating and just celebrating part of this, if you are wanting to know anything more about our department, please talk to Marla, talk to Yasmina, talk to Lauren, talk to Gwen, talk to me, because we want to grow this department in different ways, and you are all important to the changes and to the growth that we do. I don't think Erica is with us, and I don't think Gwen is either, but I do want to thank Erica and Gwen Duncan, this beautiful cover that you are seeing, and hopefully can maybe take a closer look at some point. So Erica Duncan works for the Herstory Writers Workshop. That is the workshop through which I am paid to lead writing workshops every single week, almost, of the year on memoirs to reimagine mental health care. I lead those workshops with with Janelle Gagnon, who is an author in this collection and is on our Zoom today. And Erica's work has been instrumental also to the work and development of this collection. So Erica wrote the introduction to this collection. So I want to make sure that I introduce you to Erica. Her daughter, Gwen, did our cover art. And she's an amazing artist, and I knew that. So when I was asking Erica to write our foreword for the book, I said, well, you know, would Gwen be interested in doing art? And we, so this art really, I hope that we can talk a little bit more about it. And I think I do have a bigger shot for you to look at. So when you do, we told her, we don't want to see a mad woman in an attic on the cover of this book. Like, we don't want that to be the picture. We want to see mad women in different contexts, but doing things as part of a sort of a busy scene, as part of a lively scene, because we're trying to reimagine and redefine what mad women can be, what madness can look like. So that was the inspiration, and the artist sort of took off on it, and we're very happy with the beautiful artwork of the cover. I also want to take a moment to name our contributors, because this collection wouldn't be possible without our writers who wrote the core materials of this collection. Christina Foisey, Nadia Stephen Reising, Chloe Leung, Maria Rovita, Kira Sterling, Stevie Shurich, Nicole Rizzo, Nicole Turner, Kritika Sharma, Sonashki Srivastava, Jaina Brown, Janelle Gagnon, Erin Soros, Brittany Smith, and Riley Claire Valentine. And I think a couple of people of our authors are with us today. And when we talk about their work, I just want to say to our people on Zoom, if you would like to be the one to read your excerpt of your work, if we are showcasing your work today, please just interrupt me and we'll let that happen. When we are doing these, we are not doing many receptions, so I'm really grateful for this opportunity. But in the last event that we did at the National Women's Studies Association, we highlighted a couple of writers. So in this incarnation of the reception celebration, we are going to highlight a couple of other writers. That's just how we're sort of rotating it, because we would be here for a very long time if we were able to really showcase every single person's work today, which we can't. So I think if I could move us over to the side, you'll at least be able to get a bit of a view of this cover before I go on. My daughters, you sure you don't want to read? Okay. I was trying to recruit my kids to be readers today, but I'm not gonna force that. Okay. So Erica Duncan's foreword, and I might want to read it from here because I'm not able to look at it. But I don't have it highlighted. Well, I'll try to read it from my screen. Actually, I can read it from my screen. That's okay. I was just like, it's the position of it. Okay. I want to share you a little excerpt of Erica Duncan's foreword, just so you can hear it. She is a beautiful writer, and what she has to say about the collection, I think, is I don't want to trap you in here, so go for it. Okay, what is it about this particular collection that disrupts our comfort with every single line, yet renders it among the most respectful and protective volumes that I have ever encountered? Even as it calls us to action and reevaluation in a way that is so far from safe. As it calls us to never, not ever conflate personal struggles of madness and sorrow with the larger ways in which accusations of madness have been used to violate women of color and women in actual chains. Despite the editor's claims that this book defies orators deliberately and proudly, my reading constituted one of the most reordering and provocative journeys that I have ever taken. The collection's very original format of academic pieces written without any use of the usual constraints of academia, many by people directly impacted by and critiquing the work of the medical and literary interpreters alike, intermingled with disruptive memoir fragments and creative works, left me breathless and humbled, but most of all optimistic about working together and whatever the next steps might be. And I wanted to say a little bit about this not academic book. We decided sort of early on, and I don't know if Nicole's going to say a little bit more about this, to have these mad disruptions in the book. We put out a very kind of lengthy call for submissions, and we received such a variety of submissions, that many of which were creative, such as mine. We wanted to have this be a creative space and an academic space, to have the two coexist, but we also wanted the creative writings the personal to disrupt the academic discourse, because that is part of the work, the activist work that this is trying to do. So we have mad disruption pieces that are part organized throughout this, and they are just as much of a presence as the quote unquote academic pieces, which are also somewhat personal as well. So there's not exactly a hard line between those categories. I'm going to read just a little bit of the very start of the book so that you can hear it. And I'm going to talk about a couple other things, and then Nicole's going to tell you about our sections. For those who have lived in attics, proverbially or literally, for those who have been held in institutions, and for those whose minds and ways of being in the world challenge societal enforcement of norms, transcending the limits of literary discourse on the subject of the Madwoman is a matter of necessity. Our bodies and our futurities are at stake in this work. This collection was inspired by community and by resistance, by the longtime efforts of activists and movements aimed at the liberation of mad people and those affected by institutional oppression, by the fleeting or sustained resistances of mad and mad labeled bodies under systems of white supremacist, colonial, heteropatriarchal oppression and punishment, and by the scholars, writers, and mad activists who gathered together in 2020 at a roundtable to share narrative wisdom on and to insist on the continued importance of the Madwoman as a subject and subjectivity that stretches beyond the limits of feminist literary criticism. Discourses around liberation movements reveal that contestation over identity labels and meanings are an important part of mad liberation. And we hope that this collection provides a safe space for dialogue on the meanings of the Madwoman at the beginning of a century in which old meanings and new meanings have come into conversation with each other. Mad scholars have pointed out that a range of perspectives exists among those who identify as part of the psychiatric survivor movement and the neurodiversity and neuroqueer movements, respectively. However, there are common experiences of mistreatment, a lack of understanding, and narrow labeling by an enduring, quote, paternalistic psychiatric system. Rallying behind this collection are decades of lived experience, resistance, and organizing by those struggling against oppression and for mad liberation. This collection is a community response to a call for presently gathered wisdom on what the Madwoman has been, is becoming, or can become. That's like the first paragraph of the book. Okay, so yay. It's exciting. I love our introduction. A couple of things I want to say about it. We do address Gilbert and Gubar's seminal work, The Madwoman in the Attic, but we talk about how this work is different. Okay, we are not producing this work primarily to be a text of feminist literary criticism. It is intended to speak and gather voices of people with lived experiences who have been labeled mad, talking about madness. That's a key difference. The other thing is, you'll notice in the title, we start with, it's called Madwomen and Social Justice Movements. We want to make it very clear, and we try to do this in the title, not in the title, in the introduction of the book, that all of the essays in this work are part of social justice movement. Okay, this is part of a social justice movement. So sometimes people will be like, oh, well, we're looking for, what is this? Is on a social justice movement? This is about, and some of our writers are talking about explicitly about social justice movements, but we want to make it clear that this collectively, and each part of it collectively comes together to be part of not just mad justice movements, but other collaborative movements as well. We hope that it participates and contributes to various movements. And I'm going to now kind of turn it over to Nicole to speak to us again about the sections of our book.
You might want to keep the slides on.
Yes, I'm gonna.
Okay, can everyone still kind of hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so when we were reading and rereading all of the chapters, we were trying to sort of code them with a list of themes and keywords and then determine which ones fit together, right? We also knew that we wanted to have the final section be forward looking and offer new directions for thinking about the Madwoman. And the three sections really ended up coming together nicely as Silencing the Madwoman, Trauma and Testimony of the Madwoman, and Redefining the Madwoman. Each section has five 5 chapters, and mad disruptions are also included in each section. Jess, can you go to the next slide?
Yes. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta.
Oh, I gotta do it here. It's getting confusing. I knew this was gonna happen. Okay.
Okay. So the first section are the first list of texts here in yellow on silencing the Madwomen. These are the titles and the authors. This section revisits the all too common theme of women and gender non-conforming people's voices being silenced, especially those who defy social norms, be they racist, sexist, sanist, ableist, or otherwise. The writers of this section pay especially keen attention to silence, speaking, and listening, and perhaps most importantly, to who has the right to speak and be heard. The second section, which are the 5 titles in white in the middle, is on trauma and testimony of the Madwomen. This section brings together testimonial examples of trauma, including literary and personal accounts of women's varied encounters with asylums and the psychiatric healthcare system. The writers of this section interrogate the historical traumas of colonialism, racism, sexual abuse, and disability, yet they also highlight forms of mad agency that testify to madness as a site of truth and activism. And in the final section here on redefining the Madwoman, which is the final 5 titles, this section paves new paths and directions for thinking about and through the Madwoman. The writers of this section argue for a more expansive definition of the Madwoman that includes gender nonconforming folks, mad Black women, mad girls, and women with disabilities.
Thank you. Okay. All right, so we want to celebrate a couple of our writers. This is going to be our final kind of portion of this segment, and then we'll eat. We have I'm going to actually let Nicole start by talking about Christina Foisey's work, and then we're gonna do an interchange here.
Awesome. So Christina Foisey's chapter we wanted to highlight, it's called Madness as a New Kind of Music. And it really stands out in this first section because it spans both academic and creative genres. So Foisey not only critically analyzes Janet Frame's novel, but they also created these soundscapes that echo major themes and sentiments in the novel, which can be accessed on the SoundCloud link in the slides. So the quote we have here, Foisey writes, "As a mad sound artist with familial experiences of ECT, I have engaged with Janet Frame's work to inform my artistic methodology and praxis. Through Frame and other survivor life writing and oral testimonies, I am able to resist psychiatric labeling and reclaim madness as a source of power and critique that led me to compose 3 sound art pieces that reflect upon mnemonic and epistemological themes in the novel, and to also highlight the continued human rights violations caused by the industrial psychiatric complex, which incarcerates and perpetuates ongoing violence."
Do we want to try to do the sound clip?
Sure. If you think, well, you don't have audio.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
your
I can't, and
computer
it's doing some weird, it's doing something when I press that. Sorry.
Share
it's
the
not gonna work.
slide with everyone.
Okay. All right, sorry. All right, I'm just trying to see what I need to move around, and there's 2 screens that I'm working with, which makes it even more confusing. Okay, I want to talk about Jana Brown's piece here, and I want to show you the physical piece too in the book because it appears differently. This is a black and white print book. So you'll see that the piece that we're looking at beautifully on the screen doesn't quite translate in the same way in the book. But I believe the electronic version that UB Libraries has generously purchased that you can look at, I think that they have a color version. So I just want you to take a look at the image of the stitching work here. The Point of Unravel was written in conjunction with a mixed media embroidery series documenting how trauma, pregnancy, and mental health assessment collide in perinatal health care following disclosure of trauma. It is a vignette based on lived experience and poses the question of how one resists the imposition of meaning on the body through the search for trauma-informed healthcare and the preservation of one's story and voice. The entire piece is called The Point of Unravel, and the piece that you are looking at is called The Bottom of an Exhale. It's very powerful and it's very beautiful. Okay, and I'm gonna go to Nicole again.
Hi. Okay, I think we switched 2 slides around, but that's okay.
Sorry.
So this next slide is on Kiera Sterling's chapter, We Got a Right to Be Mad, Hail Jarima's Bush Mama and the Mad Black Woman. This chapter is from the final section on redefining the Madwoman, and it importantly expands the definition of the Madwoman to include the powerful ways that Black women reclaim madness, a label forged to the process of historic colonial possession as a form for revolutionary ends. So Sterling writes, the Black radical women of the Combahee River Collective not only reference the pathologizing impulse of patriarchal hegemony, being made to feel crazy, but also further demonstrate how such an impulse stymies deeper awareness and consciousness for Black women. The systemic gaslighting employed by hegemonic forces threatens to subdue Black women, but if properly tended to, our anger can purge us of the self-doubt and sense of helplessness. Achieving collective liberation requires conscious recognition that our humanity is routinely negated and that our responsive anger is valid and necessary for social change. Despite the continuous fodder for legitimate Black anger, the tactics deployed to negate its validity swirl in a white hegemonic impulse to pathologize and criminalize. Both of these processes work to demonize and derange, creating mad objects that must reclaim subjectivity by affirming their right to be mad.
Thank you. Thank you, Kiera. I can't see exactly everyone who's with us, but I'm going to be talking about Riley
We
Claire.
have Riley would like
Oh,
to,
yay.
Riley and Janelle are both here.
Yay,
Sorry, on
Riley.
Zoom, and would like to read or
Would
say
you
hi.
like to read would you like to tell us about your piece and read it, Riley? Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Sorry.
Hello.
Yes. Hold on one sec. We're going to try to readjust some things. Well, but you can speak to us.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
We're trying. Yes.
Okay. Should I go ahead or should I wait for a bit?
Oh, you can go ahead. Yes, you can go ahead, Riley.
Okay. So the piece that I wrote about was about my experience of hospitalization. And it's a mad disruption, and it's called Case Study Embracing Madness. Sorry, I have a vagus nerve stimulant that goes off sometimes. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. There's no pattern yet. I guess I've been disruptive. I never knew the rules, you see. What are the rules when the books keep changing? And what are the rules when you have no interest in changing the books? What are the rules when the changes are better than the original? What's the fucking point of making rules? And what are the rules when you never saw them before? If the rules were written in books, hidden away, what's crazier? That I'm in here, or that I was surrounded by the oppressive heat of the carceral system and slid by without endurance doors? Even if you're good, if you don't know the rules, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Sitting in a women's college surrounded by people I'm confused by, what rules are they using? I deserve to be here, but the rules don't stop changing. The rules don't stop adapting. The books don't stop melting, and sometimes when I open my mouth, I feel like 1,000 volumes of words are gonna pour out.
Thanks. Let's give a little round of applause for Riley. Thank you, Riley. Did you want to say anything else, or do you want us to go on?
We can go on.
Okay, thank you so much. We're so happy that you're here. One more will, yes. Okay, Nicole.
Okay, so this last academic chapter that we'll talk about is Sonia and Kritika's chapter on subversions, interrogating the politics of madness in Hong Kong's The Vegetarian. So this chapter offers a literary analysis of Kong's novel and critiques the harsh expectations of South Korean protagonist Young Hae, who is labeled crazy by her family when she decides to become a vegetarian. The authors write, within the novel, Young Hae's madness is located not only in her stoic refusal to eat meat, challenging an important cultural norm, but also in her dissociation with her body. The fact that Young Hae's ultimate desire is to be a plant can perhaps be read as a kind of queering of madness. Queering in the sense of a deviation from what society has established as normative, but also queering in terms of the body. Young Hae's behavior and desires exhibit a continuous suspension of boundaries, a refusal to live within socially constructed norms, and a questioning of the normative binaries of not only gender and the body, but also of what it means to be human. Young-Hai's queerness is inherently disruptive, as queerness often is, to the social prescriptions of what is considered normal and acceptable. Young-Hai's silent refusal to be a certain kind of body is a challenge to order, and so it is deemed mad enough to have her incarcerated in a medical establishment.
Thank you. Okay. And we're ending with a special piece to me because Janelle is special to me. Janelle, would you be willing to talk about your piece? And I'm gonna talk about, or do you want to tell us about this art as well? If you don't want to talk, it's okay. I didn't ask you beforehand. That's Janelle.
Sure. Hi. Can people hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is another piece of art made by Gwyn Duncan for the well, actually, this was made alongside the workshop Jessica and I run together called Reimagining Mental Health Care. I also run a disability themed workshop. So this was made for that workshop, and it also ends up in my mind kind of being the backdrop for the piece that was published in this book, because it shows the room where I spent a very good chunk of time pretty much stuck in bed, living my life from bed. So this painting's pretty special to me, and you can see that room in the background of my Zoom now. Is there anything else you want to add, Jessica?
You want to read the excerpt that we have?
Yeah. I know disabled women, madwomen, were hidden away in attics, but modern media, written from an outside perspective, fails to show the richness many of us find in our lives. Even in my lowest times, cowering at the shadows or crying in pain with every movement, there are moments when my mind frolics, leaping between stepping stones of contact with the outside world. In these weeks and months, sequestered in my room, stories unwind and respool themselves in my head, and my plans grow like gardens, dreams blooming to get me through. The external image of the mad or sick woman in her dressing gown, hair unkempt, fabricated by those who do not live this life, doesn't show that. This is why I write memoir, to contribute to the archive of authentic narratives of the madwoman, the disabled woman, that has been distorted by an external perspective in popular media. So, let me tell you, here is what my attic room looks like. I have made it my war room. Here, I fight for my life.
Give Janelle a round of applause. Okay, so I'm gonna undo this so we can all see you, and I'll kind of be together for one gallery view second. Oh, will that work here? No, it won't. Sorry.
So I'll unpin so everybody can.
Oh, wow. It took, just like my classes, I went over. I just want to thank everyone who has come here. And I want to thank the department again for providing this wonderful event and also for the wonderful food. This food is for you. So please, we thank you for celebrating with us. I'll talk to you in a second. And please come and see me, talk to me before you leave. You know, I care about and love all of you, and I'm so grateful for this. Ask me questions about the book, ask me questions about my kids, come talk to me, and meet some of the other faculty members here. We have Corinne in the back. Please meet us, ask us about the Northeast Modern Language Association Conference, and come and get involved. Meet each other. Thank you.
You also have a bunch of comments?
Okay, I'll check them out. Thank you all online. I'm gonna be a little distracted with the fact that I'm in room in person, but I appreciate you all being here, and I look forward to reading what's on the side and connecting with you all later. Okay.
Bye, Jess.
Bye. Thank you for coming. Yes, break into the food, open everything, because, or yeah, don't be afraid to. Let's get these things open. I can't even open it. So. I will take them on the corner. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Of course. Oh, thank you. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, wait, we need to get Okay, yeah. Oh, will you take a photo of us? Wait, we hold the, sorry, together, yeah. They like match your hair really nicely, so. What? No, you're in there.
If you don't get in it, I'll photo something. When you're watching.
Aw. Thank you. So sweet. Oh. Okay. There's a bathroom right over there.
I think I'm gonna go.
Okay, yes, please. I'm sorry, because I'm gonna be distracted, so I'm
Have
not gonna.
fun.
Oh, my mom's here. I love you. I love you. I didn't know you.
Bye, everybody.
I hear you. You're muted. It's okay. I'll call you later. Thank you so much for coming. You want to take a picture? Okay.
Women in Latin America. Independent study. And also today, image.
Wow, you are taking class. That's so cool. Are you loving any of them in particular?
Everything about studying, I love it. It's in January.
I love that class. It's like a fun time. You want to take some food? Take some food to go. Yes, please. Take a cupcake. It's okay. All right. I think I'm gonna close this out. All right. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. See you later, Brittany. Thank you for coming. Are you here for anything else? Earlier this week. Was your fish bar on Monday? When I just stayed. I'll talk to you. Are you gonna stick around for a minute? Or you heading out? Yeah, I can stick around. Okay. I'd love for you to bring it down. This is great. I will do that. Hey, everyone, excuse me, sorry, one more announcement. There are major and minor declaration forms for global gender and sexuality studies. We want you to join us, so come and get them from me. Yay! Oh, it's so nice to see you. Can I get a picture with this? All right, and you can the flowers for everyone. I don't know where it's come back to the keeping everything like, no, we're there. Oh my God. I mean, for you, it's the company. I need this to go right. So, hey, you wanna get? All right. Okay.
I took a look at it.
Okay, that's yours. Right, ready? There's like, hold on, go back now. Sorry, I stepped in the spot. Yeah, we let it spot to the spot. Oh my God, no, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, I know, because. Oh, no, I'm so good. Okay. Look at it. Oh my gosh, my mom is just still waiting there and she's watching the whole thing. And she's just like, I'm just gonna leave it on for her enjoyment. It's okay.
Congratulations. We're fine, stop. You can put this one in the album next to the one of us and our dog, or my dog. Do I want to take some tries? Writing a journal article that's made public. That's fine. It's actually comparative analysis, assessing like risk paradigm, psychology, sort of similar to. But I have doing much other things.
Like 3 or something like that. I was great.
How are you doing, John? Thank you for sending all of those pictures. Everyone's been so happy about it.
Just didn't realize it's gonna be able to publish in person with the same public.
Perfect.
Anytime around.
Very generous.
We always talk for.
Like right there.
I was positive if you can get.
All right, yeah.
I feel you should wait. I feel you should take one more and, like, what is she giving?
One, two, three.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
I should grab some snacks.
No, I just thought the ball, they got to do it.
Yeah.
But I
I'm not gonna be like. So where like the like a stone. Yeah, that's so weird. It's not, it's not, it's not the same. I have to stay with Mary now it's you.
I'm just gonna put my kids so they can talk to Hey, Grandma Sue's here. You can say hi to her for a second and then, and I'm looking at, oh, you did say hi? Sorry, I'm in the middle of a conversation. Okay, Mom, I love you. Let me call you back. I have to end this.
I love you. I love you.